Welcome to Unchained here on Pahrump News. I'm your host, Deanna O'Donnell. Hope you're having a good day. Well, we had the Baker to Vegas Relay Cup Challenge held this past weekend, the 41st annual. The Nye County Sheriff's Office joined this year once again. We were so proud to see number 301 out there running in this Relay Cup Challenge. And of course, that challenge was coming from Baker all the way to Las Vegas through the town of Pahrump. The Rotary Club and myself once again put out our Welcome to Pahrump signs with the help of Eddie O'Brien. And of course, Josh Westerman helped me get that banner out there for everyone. The Nye County Search and Rescue did a special thing this year, and they actually had a barbecue to raise funds and some t-shirts that they were selling and a couple other memorabilias out there on the track right next to Highway 372 and Blag Road, where they were passing the baton. We do want to note that there was unfortunately a tragic death that occurred over the weekend. That was 30-year-old Levi Vargas from the San Dimas Sheriff's Office. He suffered a medical episode while running on the Relay Cup Challenge race, and although they tried to revive him, he unfortunately passed away. Las Vegas Metro held a procession, and they transported him via helicopter to the San Dimas Sheriff's Office, and he was subsequently taken to the Forest Lawn Mortuary there in Covina. We want to give all of our hearts and prayers to the family and all those who are suffering this tragic loss. And we will be having the Las Vegas, or the Baker to Vegas Relay Cup Challenge story in the coming days. So stay tuned here on Pahrump News for that. But right after this break, we're going to have a special guest, and that is George Gholson. He's going to tell us all about this special thing that he's doing right now, and a little bit more about himself when we return.
Sponsored by Want to Tree, handyman, yard cleanup, yard maintenance, and so much more. Give them a call at 775-253-8066. We will leave you with a smile. Axe Exterminators. Give those pests the axe. Give them a call today for general pest control, rodents, termites, bed bugs, and so much more in Pahrump, Amargosa, Beatty, and surrounding areas. 775-990-2065.
All right, I'm here with my guest, George Gholson, and you met him before when we had him on the show with his band Perception, but he's got a new venture that is so interesting. I just saw his video the other day, and I'm really interested in this. Tell everybody what you're up to.
Well, I'm part of an Indian tribe that some people who live in Pahrump don't know we're even there.
Yeah.
And we're the Timbisha Shoshone out of Death Valley. So if you go to Death Valley, we're right south of the ranch, at the ranch there, and we've been there forever, before it was a national park. But I'm amazed that some people don't know that we're there.
What ranch?
It's the ranch right there at Furnace Creek. Mm-hmm. Because I got the ranch, which is a hotel resort, and then you got the inn. So we're just right next to the ranch if you go to Furnace Creek.
Yeah, see, I didn't know where your main location was there. So what do you have there?
Well, we have 340 acres. We're the only tribe, the only recognized tribe anywhere that is inside a national park.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and that happened in 2000 when President Clinton signed what is called the Homeland Act and gave us 340 acres there. And we have several thousand acres, but they're not connected. They're not contiguous. They're different spots, and they're both California and Nevada.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you're here in Pahrump, and
Yes.
so you have members that are from here in Pahrump and also in California as well.
Yeah, this is our Aboriginal territory. We used to trade here with the Southern Paiute and all up through Scotty's Junction, up through Nye County and into Esmeralda County. Mm-hmm. Historically, we were where the base is. We used to travel where the test site is, where they did all that testing out there. So we were part of that area. There was a treaty, as a matter of fact, it was called the Ruby Valley Treaty, and it was a big portion of Nevada, and then that went away. Just in the last 15 years.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. And so there's people that live on the property there?
We have about 30 members that live in Furnace Creek on that. We call it the village. It's our homeland. And then the other property that we have. We have 2,000 acres at Scottish Junction. We've got 1,000 acres at Death Valley Junction. And then further up north, Lida, we have a couple thousand acres there too. But most of them are where you can't live because there's no economy.
Yeah.
So we plan on developing those as we progress with our economic development.
And you also own the marijuana facility right there, right near the junction as well, where the Death Valley Junction is, and the Opera House and everything, right?
Yes, that's where we have 1,000 acres. We have a 50,000 square foot greenhouse, and we have a small dispensary and a C-train or shipping container. How that started was, it was during the end of the medical marijuana era in California. We were getting into medical marijuana, and then the law changed and made recreational marijuana legal. So most of our market went away. And I would bet 99.9% of the people do not understand that our cannabis is legal on our land, but not so much in California, because you have to be licensed. Well, California refused to license any tribes. There are no tribes that are licensed in California to sell cannabis. But since it's on our land, it's legal for us to do it. Now, the sheriff's been out there, the park rangers have been out there. We've invited all law enforcement, federal and state, to come out and view our facility to make sure we're in compliance with state law. So we mirror state law. And we've never had any problems, but we don't have the same market. We can't sell to the legal market because we're not licensed. So the licensed people can't buy from us. So what we've done is we've created a native cannabis market. So when you buy in a dispensary at a native cannabis dispensary, you're getting a better product because we take better care of what we're doing.
I've heard people from Pahrump drive out there.
We get a fair amount of business from here. And once you go there, they return because we grow it right there.
Oh, wow. All right. And then you also have another venture that you're working on right now, which is so exciting.
Very exciting. And a lot of tribes in California have done this, and that's a casino. In 2000, when the Homeland Act was passed, they said that we could acquire land to do Class 3 gaming. And we've done that recently. It took us all those years. In 2003, I went to my first casino meeting in Bishop, California. And then we've been through developers, we've been through locations, and we finally, after 20 plus years, I'd say 22 years, we've got a piece of land, and the land was taken into trust, and we have a compact with the state of California to do Class 3 gaming on that piece of property. We have an architect out of Las Vegas who's designed casinos, and he's working with us, so we're moving ahead. But we were almost there before COVID hit. So, and what happened with COVID, it changed the banking dynamics completely for casinos, for Indian casinos, I should say. Because before, you could get financed, no problem. They knew that they were going to get their money back. Casino was generally a winning proposition. I think 98% success rate. There were a few that didn't make it through management or other reasons. But when the banks realized that, hey, when they had to shut down the casinos because nobody could go because they had to stay home, then the casinos were not making any money. Then they couldn't pay that debt during that time, and the banks are going, whoa, what are we going to do about that? So now it's a little more difficult when you're developing a casino to be able to acquire financing. You can't do it the same way you used to because things have changed that much.
It's really close to Ridgecrest, and Ridgecrest was the original place where you were hoping to have it, right?
Yes, we worked for several years in Ridgecrest with the city trying to get that to work out. But that's, like anywhere, you have some that like it and some that don't like it. And it was very restrictive. And in the end, we looked at the map because you have a couple of maps. You have a map that the federal government says, here, this is where you are. And the other map says, this is where you used to be. So, and that's the Aboriginal territory map.
Oh.
So we looked at the Aboriginal territory map, and some of my relatives are from Kawayasu, from right over in that area.
Oh.
And we used to trade heavily in that area. And my parents and some of our people lived in Darwin, which is just north of
yeah, I've seen
Inyokern.
Darwin. Yeah.
So on the other side of the base, and my family lived on the base until I think it was the 40s when they moved everybody off. So it's within our Aboriginal territory, and I met with the assistant secretary, and he looks at me and says, "You guys have been waiting a long time.
Yeah, really.
Let's see what we can do." And that was Mr. Roberts, Assistant Secretary Roberts. So we worked diligently to find some property. We finally found some property. It went into trust smoothly because we had an act. Okay, so when a tribe generally takes land into trust, it's a two-part process is what they call it. Has to go through a bunch of environmental studies, there's comment periods, the public gets involved. For us, since it was in the act that was passed by Congress, it was a mandatory land acquisition. So when it came time to do that, they just, okay, thank you. We paid $1.
Okay.
$1 for the land. We gave it. Actually, the BIA bought it for $1. In the Homeland Act, it says they will purchase the land from a willing seller. And I was talking to the assistant secretary, and I go, "You sure you guys have $1? Because I can lend you one if you don't have $1." And he goes, "Yeah, I'm sure we can make that work." So that happened. The compact happened fairly quickly. Now we're in the financing and the design stage. But you had 20-some years.
It's a long haul. And
it's
in the town of Inyokern. A lot of people probably know Inyokern right there off of the 395, which is really close to Ridgecrest. And but it's going to be interesting because you have the freeway really close by, so that's going to be a good thing for you.
Yes, our initial feasibility studies show the profitability of the casino, but what I found interesting was that a travel plaza will almost make as much money as a casino will.
Oh, really?
Yes, because in California, they have this trust fund. It's revenue sharing trust fund is what they call it. It was a referendum passed by the voters, and what it did is it said the gaming tribes are going to pay into this fund for the non-gaming tribes. So each non-gaming tribe, which they're considered non-gaming if there are 349 machines or less. Huh? So if they have less than 350 machines, they receive $1.2 million a year from non-gaming funds from the other casinos. Mm-hmm. And it's revenue sharing trust funds. So we receive that. So our casino is going to be small enough that we're going to be right at 349, and we will still receive the $1.2 million on top of that. But as we move along, we anticipate that we will increase our machines to about 600, fingers crossed, and then we will make more money than the Revenue Sharing Trust Fund gives to us.
Are you going to have a travel area there as well?
Yes, we're going to have a travel plaza truck stop combination, and we will have a nice hotel with meeting rooms, because in that area, the feasibility study did show that there's not enough meeting space. Yeah. So we're hoping that we can contract with the base or maybe Forest Service or BLM where they can use our space for their meetings and get-togethers and things that they have.
Yeah, because they do have the base right there in Ridgecrest, and that is true about that. They really don't have anything out there for meetings, for different things like that. So that'll be interesting. You know, I when you were talking about the travel plaza, I just realized that one up near the Scottish Junction finally just opened, I heard, and that's been going on for years and years. That one, and there's Indian dispensary near that 95 as well, right?
We have one on Scottish Junction.
Oh, you do?
Yes. It doesn't do well because of the location. Yeah. And you have a 70-mile-an-hour road.
Yeah.
And there's no turnouts.
Yeah, there isn't.
So you're really that's the gambling part of it. Whenever you're going to go into the dispensary, you're gambling with your life on whether, okay, can I make the turn safely or not safely?
I remember seeing it and thinking, wow, you just missed that in a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
And I was telling somebody in my car last time, there's like a marijuana dispensary. So, oh, there it went.
Yeah, zip. And it's small, so if you're not specifically looking for it,
yeah.
What really caused a shortage there was that when there was that flood for Scotty's Castle, they closed that road.
Yeah.
So that was an entrance to the park, which drew a lot of people down that road. And it's not going to open anytime soon. As a matter of fact, it's closed indefinitely from the last time we talked to the park. But if that was open, that would help. And we would move our dispensary from the 95 over to the road that goes into Bonnie Claire, because there's a turnout there and there's a big parking area right there. Be much safer. We've talked to Nevada INDOT for Nevada Department of Transportation about having a turning lane, a turnout. I guess they're going to wait for a couple of people to not do so well there before they do something about it. We even requested double yellow lines because if somebody's not paying attention and they're passing and they're looking this way, but somebody's passing on this side, it could be catastrophic. And we have trailers out there too. We have people that live out there now.
Yeah, it is scary. It's definitely an interesting drive when you go past it really quickly. They do have one warning sign that it's coming up, I remember seeing, but like you said, there's no turnoff. So
yes.
So you had a video the other day discussing where you were at as far as that. Do you guys have like a projected date of when you're going to break ground and you know how long it's going to take for building and all the stuff on the casino?
We're hoping to break ground before the end of the year. Another interesting thing about tribal casinos, you have to go through what is called a NEPA process, an environmental process, federal. But this current administration has trimmed that down a lot. It used to be a 2-year process, and on top of that, we have to go through special gaming licensing, which is that's a National Indian Gaming Committee, and they do the licensing and they approve the management agreements and things like that. So we still have a little bit of time. We're hoping to break ground by the end of the year. That's our intention anyway. If we can find the right financing, we're gonna shoot for that.
And what are the people in your current, because you know, that little town, are they excited about it?
I think that little town is very excited about it. When we went through there, when I did that video, I took a look around and it's a depressed area.
It really is.
I think this will bring a number of jobs. I think it will increase the economy to the point that you'll have ancillary businesses popping up to employ more people. I think the housing market will pick up. And we're going to be good neighbors, so I'm hoping that it revitalizes that area. I think it will.
It's going to be exciting. 27 years in the making. Do you guys have a name for it yet?
It's going to be called the Timbisha Casino. We just went with our tribal name because we thought about going through some of the names from our language, but then sometimes you end up with a name that's hard to spell or hard to pronounce, and we thought, well, we want people to recognize this.
Yeah.
So Timbisha was the closest thing that we thought. It refers to our tribe, and we're going to trademark it, and it'll be part of who we are.
And as far as employees, are you hiring people from the tribe as well?
Well, we're so spread out. We're not a conventional tribe. You see a tribe where they have a reservation and the majority of their people live on the reservation. We're not like that. We maybe have 10% of our people that live on our reservation, and that's through cause and effect, because there wasn't an economy there before. Because of the economics, people have grown up, moved away. Older generations are now leaving us. So a few people live on the reservation. Most of them don't. We don't anticipate a big influx of tribal members working at the casino. My hopes are, and my goal has always been, is I want to make enough money to retire. And not necessarily wealthy, just enough I'd like to have enough to make it by, because I know Social Security isn't going to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking...
You have to give your friends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you start making enough money to where I can pay my bills and live comfortable. That's my goal. But my goal is to make that for everybody in the tribe. So if they're doing that, I'm a tribal member, that means it's happening for me too. So this is just the beginning, though, because it all starts with cash flow. And tribes don't have cash flow, and I don't know how many people understand. We're grant funded. So we have a contract with the BIA. They give us enough money to run an office. But they don't give us money for economic development or for anything else, just simply to run the office. So anything that we want to do other than that, we have to come up with the funds to do that. So this will start the cash flow, which will help us develop all the other businesses, because this is just one spot. We're going to build a gas station at Scotty's Junction. We're going to build a hotel in Death Valley. The Homeland Act actually says that we can build a moderate-sized hotel in Death Valley. So we've got a lot of opportunities. There's the night sky that's in Death Valley, 1.7 to 9 million visitors. We've got some really good opportunities with the right leadership and the right development. We'll be able to get there where, one of these days I will be able to retire. The sad part about it is that a lot of us are gone now. My mother and all my aunts and my uncles, they're gone. A brother and a sister that are gone. So I'm hoping that I'll get to see this come to fruition before more of us are gone.
Well, you have a lot of good plans, and I'm telling you, definitely need a hotel out there in Death Valley because there is a bunch of visitors out there, and they need something that that they can stay in that's reasonable. I know that they have a couple hotels out there, and they're pretty packed all the time.
We got $1.2 million to build a cultural center from a grant. So we're going to build a museum to start off there, and then we're going to build a gas station because if we buy native gas, we don't pay state tax on it.
Oh.
So that'll be an advantage right there in Death Valley, where the gas I saw the other day was almost $8 a gallon.
Wow.
We'll be able to undercut that significantly and still make a reasonable amount of money. So we're going to do that. The hotel, we did a feasibility study years ago. You're right, there's a shortage of hotel rooms there, and we're going to capitalize on that. But we're going to do something that's even more unique for that area, and that's we want to develop a fire pit area, amphitheater storytelling.
Oh, wonderful.
So people can make reservations to come out and listen to the stories of the area from some of our people. I got some writings from my great-great-grandfather where he talks about that area and Saline Valley and Darwin and all through there. So I'm going to learn those, and I'm going to start telling those stories myself.
Fantastic. I can't wait. It's exciting things. All right, you keep us posted?
Definitely will.
Thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you.
Thanks, George, so much for coming on the show, and definitely we got to keep posted on what's going on with that casino and the other ventures that George Gholson and that tribe is definitely doing, and it sounds really exciting stuff. When we return, we're going to have your Save a Pet right after this break.
Sponsored by One Two Tree, handyman, yard cleanup, yard maintenance, and so much more. Give them a call at 775-253-8066. We will leave you with a smile.
Hi, my name is Christy Sigmund, and I'm here at the Nye County Animal Shelter with Bruno. Bruno is an 11-year-old senior boy who was found running at large. He loves the outdoors, he loves to go on walks, and even though he's older, he would work out in a perfect home that would be able to give him all of those things outside. So if you'd like to come down and meet Bruno, we are located at 1580 East Seary Lane. Give us a call, 775-751-7020. Or visit 24petconnect.com and see all of our adoptable animals. Buddy!
Thanks so much for showing us that lovely pet on our Save a Pet segment. And if you want to find out more, of course, you can go to the Nye County Animal Shelter. You can give them a call, 775-751-7020. I want to remind everybody that we are once again doing the Moose Lodge Kiss a Pig contest. And if you would like to donate, I am raising funds for Never Forgotten Animal Society. And you can do that by going to the Pahrump News Facebook page or my Facebook page and clicking on the link for the Save a Pig competition and donating anything that you can so that we can raise funds for Never Forgotten Animal Society and, of course, the Pahrump Moose Lodge as well. Thanks so much for joining us here on Pahrump News on Unchained. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Good night.
Axe Exterminators. Give those pests the axe. Give them a call today for general pest control, rodents, termites, bed bugs, and so much more in Pahrump, Amargosa, Beatty, and surrounding areas. 775-990-2065.